Hey there, everybody. Good to see y'all here again. It's been a long time, but I'm back and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to review the Dragon Ball Super movie that was just released yesterday here in the United States, I believe, and I just watched it yesterday. It's the Dragon Ball Z Super Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Now, this movie was fantastic. I have not left a theater so happy my entire life. I don't think I have. I mean, I've grown up with Dragon Ball, and it's been something that I really enjoy. Like, my entire family pretty much watches it, and even it's like ever since I was in the womb, my family's been watching it. And so I can say with confidence that this series has been a part of my entire life. I've had video games. I've had, Budokai Tenkaichi, all of them except for Ultimate Tenkaichi. But I played all of them. They were a lot of fun. They've not only been a big part of my childhood, but even today, huge part of it. I still have the action figures from when I was younger, and even the very cheap ones that had their heads knocked off and arms ripped off, like because they would bang them against each other trying to make them fight. But Dragon Ball Z will forever be my favorite show, even if it's just so corny from time to time, and you know, it's not the most intricate writing. It's amazing, and it was the gateway for me to get into other anime shows. I've watched so much because of Dragon Ball Z, and I owe a lot to this franchise and to Akira Toriyama for creating this beauty. So yeah, I think I watched Dragon Ball Z, and I kind of knew everything about the series, um, but I don't remember when I started watching it because my earliest memories, like I just can't remember a time I didn't know about Dragon Ball. I've known about Dragon Ball my entire life. It's just so crazy thinking about that. I'm almost 19 years old, and it's just touched so many other people even before me. And my brother likes it too. He's more of a casual, but he enjoys it a lot. And he couldn't watch the movie with me, but it's all good. He'll watch it sometime soon. But yeah, I mean, this series is just incredible. I watched Dragon Ball Z. I saw some of GT, was disappointed, went to Dragon Ball, and then went back to GT recently and watched it all the way through. Still disappointing, but whatever. And that was after I watched all the Super. So it was Dragon Ball Z, GT a little bit, Dragon Ball Super, then all of GT. Just to make sure I could get a fair judgment of the series because Goku turning into a kid was just stupid for me. And so, yeah, I gave it a shot, and it was still pretty bad. But no, it brought Super Saiyan 4, which was awesome, and it had lots of good ideas. But I'll talk about GT in a different video. So if I ever do make another video, but let's go back to this movie. Honestly, it's just a great movie. There's not much to really complain about, but yeah, I just believe that this movie really just hit all the right notes. It was able to deliver on the animation, on the choreography, on the plot too. It was just really well made, and I was just kind of getting worried about Toriyama's ability to write stories and just deliver fan art only, just because Jiren, for example, he was just a big wall that needs to be overcome, that needs to be defeated, but there really wasn't any layer to him. It was just another strong villain, and I thought that this Broly was going to be somewhat like that too. However, I do remember the trailer of Goku saying, "Oh, well, you're not like all the other villains we've faced before," but in the way that's saying that he's not evil. And you know what? This is the first Dragon Ball villain to ever not be evil from the start. He's just the first non-evil antagonist we have ever. I mean, I guess you could count Jiren, but honestly, like I said, Jiren just does not count. He's just a big, boring blob of boringness. But luckily, we got a lot from this movie, and especially from Broly himself. Like, I want to talk about him first, I guess, because he's a center point of his entire movie. So, his character, when compared to the old Broly, it's a lot different. I mean, sure, he goes berserk, but there's no demonic laughter. He's not saying, "Oh, I'm the devil" or anything like that, which is badass in its own respect. But really, um, they went in a different direction with Broly, like an innocent child, pretty much, that just kind of forced to fight just because of his father, Perius. The old Broly had no layer to him. I mean, I guess he's better than Jiren just because he he was just so bad, like Kakarot, and like my powers maximum, all that stuff, all that good fan servicey stuff, I guess. But he was just such a badass back then. He was able to just topple everybody, and he was like so ruthless, and he was just a tank that no one could really stop. And I thought that was pretty badass. But I mean, that's in terms of character development, there wasn't much of it. I wouldn't say character development. I would just say character in itself. Like, he wasn't really layered at all. And in the past, he just, I mean, the non-canon version of Broly. I'm just gonna say the past just because it was convenient for me. But Broly in the past just his only motivation was that Kakarot was crying next to him, and that's why he hated him so much. But even Team 4 Star brings up that, hey, I mean, King Vegeta stabbed you. Are you not going to hate him? And so a lot of things were very stupid about that movie, just how things came about. And some things were badass, some things weren't. Honestly, just like this, the origins of Broly was kind of stupid. But there's that. But Broly now, he's just so adorable. He has such a love for life, and how he befriended that one green creature. I can't remember the name. That green creature, was his friend, and he trained with them. And the fact that Paragus freaking sniped his ear off, which is so rude. Like, it was, oh my god. It's like he did that to a puppy. You wouldn't do that to a puppy. That's so freaking mean. But he kept the ear around his waist, Broly did. And that's the green thing that he's holding around him. In many regards, that's just kind of weird. And I'm surprised it didn't, like, decompose or anything. But, like, that's cute. He kept it because it was his first and only friend, honestly. And you can see even later on in the movie how Lemo therapy, I don't know how you pronounce his name, and what was the other, Chilai? I think that's how you pronounce the names, I don't know. How they were like bashing on his father, and Broly's like, no, he's my dad, like, yeah, he's kind of mean, but he's my dad. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. They really gave him a lot of character just because Toriyama just saw that, okay, this guy's just a brute, that's what people don't like about it, let's give him character. I'm surprised he's still able to create that genuinely good character, and I really enjoyed it. He's kind of like Goku in the sense where he doesn't want to fight, he just kind of does it just because his father makes him to. But I think he's not going to stop fighting like Goku just because he kind of smiled when Goku in the end told him that he could fight him. And just a little thing to say, Goku saying, oh, you can call me Kakarot, was a great way to bring Broly saying Kakarot back into the essence of the Dragon Ball franchise, I guess you can say. Maybe the next thing I want to move on to is the origin story, since we were already talking about that. The way they brought up Broly was pretty nice. They just sent him to an exile planet. They didn't try to kill him right away. They even mentioned in the movie, we'd rather exile him than kill him right away, So that was interesting, and not much of his story was too different because Paragus and him left anyways. And this movie just showed how Saiyans were just kind of nice to each other, and that was really off-putting to me just because the episode of Bardock and all these other specials, they just showed how ruthless and rude these Saiyans were all together. And I do remember when I first read the manga where Gine and Bardock are sending Goku off into to Earth. But still, like, seeing that in the movie, that was just uncharacteristic of what a Saiyan has been made to be for the past decades. I don't know how long this series has been going exactly. I can't really remember. I think it's about in the 80s. But yeah, I mean, there's just been the notion of how Saiyans are supposed to be like in this. That wasn't it for this movie. It just kind of completely redefined what Saiyans kind of were to me. They were kind of dressed more like Tarbo was, which was really weird because I think Vegeta even mentioned that was the old school, dressing of the Saiyans, and here they are dressing like that in the modern time, or what was considered modern for them. And yeah, there was all that stuff. But yeah, I found them to be a lot nicer to each other, and Bardock especially. They made him way too nice. I think he should have still been like, oh, my son's so weak. Why is he like this? And he doesn't see into the future anymore. I mean, let's talk about Bardock too. He had so much weight to him in the Bardock special. He was a guy who was ruthless like any other Saiyan, and then he could start seeing the future, and then he starts seeing his own demise, his own Saiyans, and his own friends, and his entire race is being crumbled apart. And it was just insane how we could see him trying to convince all the other Saiyans. No one would listen to him, and then he finally went to his last hurrah, and his fight with the door and everything. And then he finally went off against Frieza. He started killing all these other Frieza soldiers. It was epic. He was fighting for what he believed in and for the Saiyan race. And he's like, Frieza! And he goes like blasting Frieza, but to no avail, it was all in vain. Like he couldn't accomplish anything, but that's the kind of tragedy we wanted to see, you know? But him dying a hero, trying to protect the Saiyan race. And they kind of gave him something here in this movie. They let him blast the supernova that Frieza sent. But honestly, it just wasn't very much. I mean, they just kind of gave him a little spotlight, but the movie went to more direction of what Superman was like. Oh, we gotta send our son away. Our planet's in peril, which was already the main idea that Toriyama had before. But now it's even more so because the parents like have good intentions of sending him away, and he's not being sent away just because he's a low class Saiyan and needs to fight off in a weak planet. So yeah, there's that. Then Jine, I think you pronounce her name, Goku's mother, was in the movie, and she was all sweet and stuff, but she even mentioned, okay, Saiyans are not really that nice and invested in the children, why are you? Like, Bardock should not have been distinguished in that manner. I personally feel like he should have been distinguished in the way he was distinguished in the Bardock special, where he was like, still kind of ruthless and badass, really, but still had the intentions of trying to save his own race. His armor too, it's not even the unique green gray armor that we usually see him with, that infamous armor and this headband being the blood of his comrades. That's so epic, but none of that was there. He just got a very bland Saiyan armor, and I was wondering, why is he dressed up like that? Why would you go that direction? I guess you want to change the art style completely, but still, like, it was just very boring to see him like that. There's good things in this movie and there's bad things, and like I said, there's not too many bad things, and the bad things are very minor. What I do enjoy seeing was Frieza just saying, hello, monkeys, and just treating them all like nothing. And just seeing the interaction between Frieza and the Saiyans when he was very young was incredible, Him with King Cold, seeing King Cold again was pretty nice, and the Ginyu Force, that was a nice nod. Just two questions I have. Berry Blue and Kokino, I think those were the names. I could be very wrong. But those guys, where were they when Sorbet was, bringing back the Frieza Force when in the Resurrection of F? Because they were in the past, but they weren't in the Resurrection of F, but now they're here for the Broly movie. I don't know what happened, where they've been. It's not like Frieza questioned where they've been, but, whatever. Very minor thing, again. But yeah, that's pretty much the origin story. We could see Vegeta with Raditz and Nappa, and I think two other Saiyans. That was really interesting. I wonder what happened to those two. I think they just died off in the, trying to conquer planets. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was really funny seeing big-headed Raditz and big-headed Vegeta saying, oh man, I don't care about my planet blowing up. I think I have a brother named Tarble, which they made canon now, I guess. They never mentioned it in Super, but I guess they're bringing them back in for the movie. Even Raditz was like, oh yeah, I think I have a brother. I think Mom said he sent him away. She sent him away. But how would he know that? And maybe I could contact through scouters, maybe? I don't know. I just find that really weird how he was able to discover that. And how he could forget such an important piece of detail, because it took him a while to realize, oh wait, they got sent away. I mean, he got sent away. Then there was this transition between back then and current time, and you can see this timeline going by with Goku and Vegeta fighting, and then that was a great transition between the present day and how they're fighting in present day for training. And then they're all having fun and stuff, and then we realize, okay, they're getting Dragon Ball, stuff like that, blah blah blah. Bulma did it to look 5 years younger, while Frieza wanted to be 5 centimeters taller, which was very comical. Broly, on the other hand, suffered 40 years in this desolate planet with his father, being tortured to work hard and train, and he never got to release his full power just because he was training with his father, and his father was super weak compared to him. Even Frieza made a nod to that later on in the movie, which was funny. I'm not going to go through every detail of the movie just because that's just a recap of what happened, and I don't want to do that. But there's so many things that need to be spoken about. Lots of characters did not make an appearance in this movie, like Gokon, Krillin, the androids. Like, a lot of people were missing. All the Earthlings, everyone. The only people that really made it into the movie was Beerus, barely. Bulma, somewhat. Whis, he was there. And then Frieza, and then Paragus, and Broly, and all the other little henchmen. Whatever. You know what? I want to talk about the henchmen right now. Lemotherapy and Chilai. Yeah, Chilai. I think. So yeah, those guys. I'm surprised they had a good heart. I mean, everyone in the Frieza Force is just a dick. Everyone just wants to kill each other. Why would this old man join the Frieza Force? Lemotherapy. Why would he join it if he wasn't really going to be doing anything? Well, maybe he was forced, you know? Maybe Frieza was taking over planets. He's like, you know what? Let me work for you, Frieza, so you don't kill me. Let me just do my business. Like, alright, you can transport stuff. He was never a soldier. And I think there's an interesting thing this movie did. There's two people who weren't soldiers, who were just like transporting stuff with ships. And those two guys were like the nice people of their entire army. The Frieza army with Lemotherapy. And how he was very nice. I think it's Lemo, like lemon, but whatever. I'm gonna call him Lemotherapy. Lemo was called. He was nice, and because he wasn't a soldier either, and all he just did was transport stuff. And then this other guy that went with Paragus to see Broly in the desolate planet of. I starts with a little T and an A. Tampa? I don't know. I forgot. Anyways, that guy wasn't evil either. He was just like, alright, you can trust me, Paragus. I'll make sure to not hurt you in any way or leave you. Even though Paragus did both those things to the other guy. Rip. But yeah, I just found it kind of interesting how those two transporter people, I guess, don't have the motivation to be killing anyone just because they just fight, I guess. I mean, they don't fight. I guess they lost their... I mean, Lemotherapy wasn't really much of a fighting person, I guess, but for a Saiyan to not be like that, that's very interesting. But yeah, it makes you wonder, like, there's probably some good people in the Frieza army, and they probably just fight just because they have to. Not because they... Well, that's pretty much the entire Frieza army, honestly. Except the Indian Force, they seem to be having fun. They're like bros. But yeah. I would like to get to the action scenes now. With Vegeta fighting off Broly in the beginning. I said I wasn't going to go like bit by bit, but I kind of want to go touching on these things. He finally goes Super Saiyan God. If you haven't seen him like this, it's awesome. And he's fighting Broly. He's having trouble with him, right? And he's still in his base form. He's like... I think he's already Berserk too. But damn, he's having trouble, and then Goku steps in all of a sudden in his base form, fighting Broly in his base form, who we've already established is already stronger than at least a Super Saiyan God, and he's going toe to toe with him. Like, what? How are you doing that? Then finally goes to being red, and then, God, I mean, and then he just uses telekinesis to stop Broly. Like, when was that established? Like, I know you can read minds and stuff like that, so it's kind of telekinetic. I mean, it's more like ESP kind of thing. I don't know. Mind powers, I guess. But that was just weird. And then we saw Broly make the transition to him being more in control. But yeah, I just found that interesting, you know. But I guess it was just for like aesthetic purposes for him to transform right then and there. And yeah, oh, I gotta tell you, when people saw Vegeta turn into a Super Saiyan God, everyone went crazy. Everyone was cheering. It was great, honestly. And that's all I wanted to say about that. I have to say that um, when Goku was about to transform blue, he had green aura around him, followed by Ultra Instinct, Master Ultra Instinct with his silver hair. Even the aura around him was changing to that color, and then he turned to blue, which was kind of surprising. Also, we didn't see Super Saiyan Blue 2, I guess we can call it. Um, like, I don't know why we didn't see Vegeta use it, but yeah, we didn't see Ultra Instinct either, so I'm not really complaining about that too much. It was a great movie, and I'll continue to explain how it's great. As it goes on, you know, we see Broly get stronger, and we see the two Saiyan warriors coming to terms with that and rising up to the challenge. And we just see Paragus and Frieza just kind of talking like, this isn't his limit, right? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. He's gonna keep getting stronger. Are you sure? Yeah, look at him. And he gets stronger. So that was really funny. The funniest part, though, was when, like, Frieza was remembering, oh yeah, I remember Goku went Super Saiyan when I killed that little ball dude, Krillin. So maybe if I kill Paragus, I could get Broly to transform. And it was like, how you doing, Paragus? Oh, what? And then he just shoots him with the death beam. Like, and then he starts screaming, oh my god, Broly, tragedy has struck. Oh my goodness, look at your father. He was struck by a stray energy beam. And then Broly starts at it for like 1 millisecond and then just transforms like to a Super Saiyan. Oh my god, it's so freaking amazing. It's hilarious. Like, it's like easily kill him off. They don't even give him like a freaking dramatic goodbye. And I was talking with one of my friends that we watched the movie with. His name was Robbie Bland. Go check out his channel. He was just saying, yeah, it has more weight to it. That's funny because everyone hates Paragus instead of, you know, really having any invested feelings for him because he's a dick. So yeah, he just dies off. Like, yeah, that makes sense. It was really funny. I mean, I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be funny or not, but I just laughed. And then we continue on, and freaking glaciers just turn into lava just because they go to the mantle or wherever and they bring it all up, the lava and stuff. And that's a great fight. And then finally, we get the Piccolo cameo saying that if you need help, just come back over here. I mean, he said that earlier in the glacier scene, but, you know, it comes up later because Goku and Vegeta are like, alright, we gotta go. They instant transmission out of there and heads up, Frieza. And then freaking Broly starts striking Frieza. And then they learn the fusion dance with Piccolo, at least Vegeta does. And they mess up the first time. They get Fat Deku, right? And then Frieza's just getting freaking hammered. He goes gold and he's still getting hammered. Like, oh, we gotta try the transformation again in 30 minutes. We get Skinny Deku. And we still see Frieza getting his ass kicked. And then he goes, alright, well, we gotta try again in another 30 minutes. Finally, they get it right. And then we just go back to Frieza just getting his ass whooped for an hour. And I think this is kind of the part where he's like, Broly just goes to Whis. He's like dancing around like, okay, Broly, just have some fun with me. And I'll just wait till Gogeta comes. Gogeta does come, and it's the most amazing animated fights. I mean, even before then, it was amazing. Different angles, the ki blast, everything. I love the Broly stomping scene before this Gogeta scene, but it was epic. The transformations were well timed. I think that they weren't rushed at all, and they were incredible when people transformed. Oh my god, when Broly transformed was just freaking epic. But there was just constant fighting this entire movie. It was just action, action, action. Funny stuff were going on too. And honestly, there were just great scenes in this movie, and they were really great in this fight scene. Not to mention the dimension-breaking punch that Broly had with Gogeta Super Saiyan Blue. It was incredible. We just saw them in a completely different dimension. We're like, what the hell is going on? They just punching each other, and then they punch each other so hard again that they go back to Earth, except in a different location, I guess, because they're all in this like sand biome, kind of like where Vegeta and Goku first fought on Earth, and they're just still going at it. It's just such an epic fight, and then I guess they go back to the desert. I mean, the magma place where the glaciers used to be. I don't remember, but I think eventually they go back there. And then the freaking arm crossing thing Gogeta does in this shooting upwards and stuff like that. Oh my god, it's Stardust Breaker! They brought it back! Oh my god, that was so fantastic. I can't express just how amazing that was. Oh my god, and when he did the final Kamehameha, or whatever they call it for Gogeta. Oh my god, it was fantastic. Oh my god, and they saved Broly by using the Dragon Balls because Chilai and Limo just teleported him out of the way of the blast. And then they sent him back to his home planet. Everyone was chilling there. Limo and Chilai just went home with Broly. And then he was like, alright, I'll be back, you know. I just thought it was amazing how Frieza lasted 1 hour with freaking Broly. Like, imagine. 2 Super Saiyan Blues were going against him, they couldn't do anything. Frieza went against them for an hour alone. And it was just incredible. It was kind of his comeuppance too. Like, karma's a bitch, dude. So yeah, that was just amazing action. And then for it to end with Goku going to his planet and saying, okay, here's all this stuff. I want you guys to be all okay. Oh yeah, bro, let's fight again sometime. Oh, and you call me Kakarot. You know, I mentioned that before. It's just so good. It's a great callback. And he's alive. This guy is super strong. He's back, and he could be a very useful asset to the team. He could be a great ally. The potential Broly has now is great. I know the manga came out for Super, even beyond Tournament of Power. I haven't read any of that, so I don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, this movie just did so good, and I got so excited that I haven't been this excited about Dragon Ball Z movie in a long time. I was excited when Battle of Gods came out. I was like, for Resurrection of F, because I'm like, why bring back Frieza? It's kind of like not really necessary, but you know, they used Frieza really well ever since then, because back then he just got one-shotted every time they brought him back after the Namek saga. But yeah, Broly was just fantastic in this film. Of course, he may be the strongest person now, but look what happened to Boo. Boo was the strongest in Z, and when Super came around, he was freaking useless. He didn't contribute to anything except for the preliminary rounds of Universe 6 vs. 7 with Basile and Majin Buu. But that's all he did. He didn't even go to Tournament of Power because he was sleeping. Like, come on. That was a stupid excuse to not use him, but I guess he would have been overpowered in the Tournament of Power because everyone was so weak. Everyone was so weak in the Tournament of Power. Only Universe 7 was good. And Universe 11, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what else to say about this movie. I just, maybe future prospects of the series is when it comes back, we'll have Broly someplace else, you know, learning from Goku, because Goku said he wanted to teach him and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna complain about Broly being as strong as a Super Saiyan Blue as his base form. Because honestly, parallels are bullshit. They've been bullshit for a long time, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. But just imagine, like, him being such an anomaly that being away for a long time, you know? 40 years later, oh yeah, I'm as strong as Gogeta Super Saiyan Blue, but you know, I said I wasn't gonna complain about it, I'm just bringing it up. I just, you know, after the future Trunks saga in Super, I'm like, alright, it's just gonna be fighting at this point. You don't know who's stronger than who. Goku, Super Saiyan Blue against Krillin, whatever. Okay, whatever. You can use your excuse that, okay, you can control his ki. But, you know, he was just trying to get Krillin scared and brave and whatever. But still, like, and you just knew where everyone was at in Dragon Ball Z. You know how people were ranked. You know, like, oh, this person's stronger than this person. In Super, like, oh, what? Like, this guy's suddenly stronger than him? Oh, wait, what? When did this happen? I could talk about that in a different video, but this movie just exceeded my expectations. I expected it to be as good as maybe the Battle of Gods or Resurrection of F, but I think it was a lot better than both of them. I mean, sure, Beerus is incredible, and brought back the series and introduced gods, Super Saiyan God, the second legend, Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God, whatever. But anyways, he brought all that back, but Broly just, man, he's the first antagonist that wasn't really evil. I guess Beerus wasn't evil either. I guess you can make that argument, but he was just an asshole. He killed or things, whatever. Man, I know I made that argument earlier, but I still believe he's the kindest antagonist. I can definitely say that he's the kindest antagonist. The one with the biggest heart. Broly, Canon Broly has made a great introduction into the series, and I really enjoyed him. I really enjoyed his interpretation by Akira Toriyama, and he was, I just keep saying the same thing, but it's phenomenal. So yeah, I got not much to say about that. Thank you so much for watching. I might make another video with some other friends that I watched the movie with, like Robbie Bland and Chris, my man. So yeah, it was a great movie. I enjoyed watching it with my friends, and I know this is not the traditional work I put in for this channel, but it's something I really wanted to talk about. I really enjoyed this movie, and if you haven't watched it, please go ahead. Even if you're not a fan of Dragon Ball, if you even like action movies, like, this is a great one, I guess you could say. I mean, not the James Bond kind of Mission Impossible bullshit, but if you like anime, I guess, go watch it. It's just a great movie. The visuals, choreography, plot, it was great. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you'll love it even more, and casual or not, you're gonna be very excited about Dragon Ball after you watch this movie. So again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time. Later.